all the non-believers. How did that? To all the non-believers, especially you, Tom Jackson. Way to have our back, Keyshawn. Anybody can be beat.
Hey guys, welcome back to Jets Fuel. Today I'll be giving you a quick preview of this Week 16 matchup where we're going to see two high-flying offenses and two incredible defenses with two incredible organizations ready to set battle for this Week 16 matchup as the 3-11 Jets go down to fucking New Orleans to face the 4-10 Saints. So get your fucking drinks ready. Get some sleep the night before because this is going to be a game you can't miss. Of course, I'm being fucking sarcastic because this is the bottom of the barrel. This is I was looking, I'm doing my stuff for this preview video. I'm like, this is like one of the most uninteresting games that has ever come across my lap. You know, I don't really know much about the Saints. And when I start diving into them and looking into them, it's like, this is like, it is what it is at this point, What we could say about this game is this is like a game to, honestly, it's going to set up the draft selection and make it a little bit more clear moving into the end of this week. The Jets are at right now are picking number fifth in the draft. Sorry. So yeah, the Jets are picking fifth in the draft, and these are the type of games that the Jets will go out there and fucking win, and infuriate us fucking Jet fans even more. I will say this: if they're gonna win, I want them to go out there and beat the shit out of this fucking team, this Saints team. I don't want to see no tight game. If you're gonna go out there and win this, go out there and beat the fucking hell out of them. Let's not fucking have a tight game. Let's not get into that. Let's beat the hell out of them. You wanna make something of this? Let's fucking put our foot on their fucking throat and step down. All right, like let's beat them up if we're gonna decide to win this game. But there's a couple of challenges we got to talk about. A couple key areas that I'm gonna point out. So like I said, the Saints are 4-10. They're coming off a 2-game win streak. Sorry, I'm still getting over this fucking cold. It's been going on for 2 weeks now. I don't know. COVID. Everybody go cry about COVID. I don't want to get into that right now. But yeah, the 4-10 Saints are on a 2-game win streak. They're I can't sit here and say they're playing a lot better because between the Jets and the Saints, we got 7 fucking wins on the season. So, just stick with me, guys. I'm trying to make this interesting, but I was just talking about this with my wife. It's like, I'm trying to get like people rallied and like excited for this game, but when you look at the stats, it's like it's not an appealing game. Period. So anyway, let's just jump into this. Like I said, this is going to be before we get into my keys to the game for the Jets to try to find a victory or fourth of the year. Maybe we could get to 4-11 on the year and ruin our fucking draft position even worse. Let's talk about a couple of the key moves that were made in this past week after our fucking embarrassing loss last week. So everybody knows Steve Wilkes finally gets fired. It only took fucking 16 weeks for them to decide that this guy didn't know what the hell he was doing. Put an asterisk next to that. Obviously, he did play. The defense was playing somewhat better coming out of the second half of the season. Especially after the bye. But again, you had 2 games in a row where we just fucking rolled on our fucking backs and laid there to die. The defensive breakdowns, the lack of fucking manhood, the lack of toughness, the lack of fucking tackling. Guys just don't know what they're doing. Our linebackers are in la-la land. Brandon Stevens still is just out there running around playing games. He can tackle, so I will say that, giving up big plays galore. So finally, Steve Wilkes is fired. That was long overdue. And then we turned around and we re-signed a couple guys, which I was happy about. Our center Josh Myers gets a 2-year extension, as well as Jeremy Ruckert got a 2-year extension, which I'm a little perplexed by that, because even though everybody loves Jeremy Ruckert, the story behind it, being a Jets fan growing up, but when you look at productivity, is it there to justify this? I mean, is he a good, serviceable tight end in this league? I guess so. He can block. He can catch in places, but he never developed into that guy that we truly wanted him to be, and that's kind of a disappointment. But I'm not too upset about it. We got 2 more guys secured and locked in for the next couple years, so 2 serviceable guys. And the offensive line, just talking about Josh Myers, the offensive line, we're set and we're locked in with these guys. I think we're the only team in the league that has had the same starting 5 linemen the whole year, and that's nice to see some stability on that, with that unit in particular. Moving forward, next year it's going to be, going into this offseason, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with AVT. With them just giving Josh Myers that extension, does that mean that he's going to be the center for the next 2 or 3 years, which would probably indicate to you that Tippmann is going to be staying at right guard. So I don't know where that leaves room for AVT to come in here. Obviously, he's had a lot of injuries with being the Jets, but he's also been an outstanding player for us. Just beloved by the fan base. I'm sure he's well liked, but amongst the players and coaches as well. But he's one of those guys that if he leaves the Jets and we let him go, you can damn well bet that he's gonna go somewhere and be healthy and be a Pro Bowl caliber player, because that's just how it goes for us when our players depart the Jets. Anyway, let's get into these 3 quick key areas that I give you each week. You're going to hear more of the same that you've heard a lot of this year. But first and foremost, the Jets, Tyler Engstrand, our offense need to feature Breece Hall. This has to be a game where Breece Hall is featured from start to finish. And I understand these last 2 weeks we've played so fucking bad, and we've given up so many points so early that we've pretty much eliminated him out of the game plan. But we gotta feature him. Listen, the Saints defense lies within their secondary. They're ranked number 6 in the league in pass defense, and total defense they're number 11 in the league, just giving up 311 yards a game. So, but the one glaring weakness to their defense lies within their run defense, defending the run. And they're ranked number 26 in the league, and they're giving up, over the course of the season, 130 yards on average. But over these past 3 games, they've been exploited even more. They've been averaging giving up over 158 yards of rushing by opponents over these past 3 games. So that's a significant amount of yards. I don't know what exactly the issue is going on with them and stopping the run these past 3 games, or generally over the course of the whole season. So, but this is a game where Breece Hall, even Isaiah Davis, our young offensive line can really dominate and control this game. Listen, if we can keep Breece Hall out there getting serviceable to manageable fucking short third downs, where our young quarterback Brady Cook can manage and figure out a way to convert these third downs and keep these drives extended. That's going to be, that's football 101. It's controlling the clock, controlling the football, controlling the trenches. This is basic stuff. If we can do that and limit what basically you're trying to do is limit fucking Brady Cook with the ball in his hands. listen, he's young, he's developing, he had a really poor showing last week, even though he got his first touchdown. He had three interceptions, and they were bad ones. So guess what? We have to feature Breece Hall, and that doesn't just mean when I'm saying running the football. Feature him out of the backfield as well, catching the football, because like even though I said that the Saints defense is ranked number 6 in the league in defending the pass, that's against traditional wide receivers, and that's like guys like A.D. Mitchell, John Mechie. One guy I will like to see them feature a little bit more, and I think he's going under the radar on the offensive side of the football, is Isaiah Williams, our kick and punt returner. Like, this guy has been fantastic, and over this last like 4 or 5 games, he's shown you that he could put up some stats catching the football as well. So let's utilize these guys. Control the clock. Have design plays for Isaiah Williams. Utilize Breece Hall as much as you fucking can. Give him the ball at least 20 times carrying the football. Let him have 5 or 6 catches out the backfield. Utilize our tight ends up the field. And let's go after their linebackers. I don't know if Mason Taylor's still out. I didn't see him on the injury report. I got to double check that, but there's a way for us to figure out and to control this game and win this game. Listen, it's not going to be a high scoring game. These two offenses are fucking piss poor. They're top level piss poor offenses, if you want to put it that way. Both respectively, the Jets, obviously. The Jets come in at 29th in the league, at total offense, just under 300 yards a game. And guess who's right up there with them? The Saints ranked 26th in total offense with 314 yards. So you're dealing with the worst of the worst. These teams are just are struggling on the offensive side of the football. The advantages the Saints have are on the defensive side of the football. It's going to be a game where Breece Hall is going to have to control the football, be featured, and give him the ball as much as possible. Control the clock, control the trenches, and let the chips fall as they will. Point number 2. Oh, before we go to point number 2, let's just also acknowledge a couple of the Saints' key defensive players that are going to be tasked with stopping Breece Hall, because, listen, they know what the game plan is coming into this week. For the Jets, it's going to be featuring Breece Hall. It has to be. That's the only viable weapon that could instill any type of fear into an opponent's defense. So when you look at their defense, of course, you look at the ex-Jet that we fucking let go, which pisses you off even more. The middle linebacker, Demario Davis. Listen, veteran, a great leader, and he's versatile. He can play the run and the pass very well. So he's going to be tasked, and he's going to be a problem out there for the Jets to deal with. And then on top of that, they have 2 good veteran defensive ends that complement each other very well. You have Chase Young on the one side, and then you got Cameron Jordan on the other side. Both of these guys are good vets, good solid pieces on the outside. Both of them, I think, are coming into the game with Young has 6 sacks on the season, and Cameron Jordan has like 6.5 or 7 sacks on the season. So look, they have some pieces out there that can play the run, but also can get some pressure on the quarterback. They're ranked just along with us, like top in the league at pressure rate for opposing quarterbacks. So they're having a hard time getting to the quarterback, just like the Jets, but they can put pressure on them. And then you talk about I don't know how to pronounce some of these guys' names. I'm trying my best. Their defensive tackle, Devon Godchuk. I don't know. If I messed that up, I'm sorry. But he's he's a good, solid interior defender, and you see him excel in stopping the run. Obviously they've been struggling mightily with that, but he's one guy that you will see out there on Sunday making some plays for the Saints. And then on the back end, they have two great cornerbacks that are really anchoring their pass defense, which is sixth in the league right now. You got that kid cornerback Kool-Aid out there, and the other guy on the other side that complements him very well is Taylor. So yeah, their defense has some sneaky good players out there, and but the only way we're going to try to figure out and to exploit their weakness is we're going to have to run the football down their throat, control that line of scrimmage, control the time of possession, and just grind it out. That's what we're going to have to do. Grind it out, beat them up, beat them in the trenches, and just grind out a win if we're going to find a way to win this game. So point number 2. Listen, their quarterback is the new the rookie kid, Tyler Schlock. Another fucking weird, another name that you trouble pronouncing. Tyler Schlock or Slock, I don't know. I hear it so many different ways. But guess what? Listen, the point of the matter is you're going to have to pressure this rookie quarterback, Tyler Schlock. And like I said before, I just alluded to before, the Jets are ranked very high in the league in pressure rates. Even though we can't fucking figure out a way to get sacks, our leading guy is Will McDonald. I think he has like 6 or 7 on the year. And he came out so fast this year, you thought that he was going to put up some big stats this season, but it hasn't materialized. Same thing with Jermaine Johnson coming off the injury. We're just not finding a way to get to the quarterback. But pressure, nonetheless, on a rookie quarterback, it's an easy recipe for turnovers. Even though we're incompetent and we still have yet to figure out a way to get an interception, we're minus 17 in turnover differential. We're ranked number 32nd in the league. Let's give a little round of applause for that. But still, the way you beat a rookie quarterback in this league is throwing pressure at them, throwing different types of defensive schemes at them to make them really fucking question what the hell they're doing back there, which will produce pressures, which will produce sacks, which will produce hopefully strip sacks, and ultimately, hopefully you produce our first interception of the season. And if we can find a way to win that turnover battle, listen, it makes things a lot easier for us. Like I said before, the Saints' offense is nothing special. Like I said, they ranked 26th in total offense. They ranked 20th in passing yards, at 220 yards per game. And then you got at rushing the football, they're ranked number 27th, just under 94 yards a game. You got to put another big asterisk next to that. Alvin Kamara, it's looking like he's going to be out, so that benefits us Jets. Their backup is out as well, so you have a I forgot his name coming in, but he's going to be give me a second, guys. Fucking thing. Son of a bitch. Anyway, yeah, you got another rookie coming in here. Wish I had his name for you. I'm sorry. Listen, the Saints offense is nothing special, but they do have playmakers out there, which is going to lead to my point number 3. If Alvin Kamara can't play, that's obviously a huge benefit for us. And then, this is going to lead directly into point number 3. Listen, you gotta limit Chris Olave's big plays. Their only path to victory outside of Alvin Kamara, especially if he's out, is going to be pushing the ball through Chris Olave. We all know Chris Olave, teammate of Garrett Wilson in Ohio State. There was a lot of rumors linked to the Jets trading for him earlier in the season, bringing him as a wide receiver number 2. He has dealt with a lot of injuries and concussions, but he's nearing this year. He's playing. He's relatively healthy. He's been playing very well. He's coming up, slowly approaching 1,000 yards on the season. But he's always that consummate big play threat. And if we can't find a way to put pressure on that rookie quarterback, we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we're going to be relying heavily on Breece Hall managing and protecting the football and controlling the clock. But there is a path for us to make an impact on the defensive side of the football. One, like I said in my point number 2, was pressuring the rookie Ty Schlock, the quarterback, but also you're going to have to double team Chris Olave all game long. Do not allow him to have one of these games where he's putting up over 100 yards, 6-7 receptions, a couple touchdowns. We don't need that. Double team him, shut him down, take him out of the game, make that team one-dimensional. And listen, that's going to be the only way for us to figure out victory. Obviously, we have some major injuries in our secondary. But Brandon Stevens is going to have to be tasked with excuse me, I'm still dealing with this cold. Brandon Stevens is going to be tasked with fucking dealing with Chris Olave. And we've seen all year long that Brandon Stevens is a liability out there. He has shown a couple streaks of playing better football, but in general, he just gets beat too much. He gets lost. He loses himself in coverage, and this is a guy, Chris Olave, that is explosive, is a deep play threat, and listen, we don't want him having a breakout game. It will spell disaster for us. I do feel like this is going to be a close game, and part of me wants to say that the Jets will win this game, but I guess selfishly, I'm looking towards the draft, and I'm already calculating that we're probably going to have to move up in the draft to get the guy that everybody keeps talking about, Fernando Mendoza. So the more we fall back in that draft, in the draft selection, if we get 5, 6, 7, 8, it's ultimately going to fucking hurt us when we're going to have to divvy up draft capital to move up to that first pick to select a guy like that, if that's what the Jets choose to do. Still not sold on that kid Fernando Mendoza. And then the kid Sayin from Ohio State. I want to see these guys play, how they play throughout this college football playoffs. And then, at the end of the season, we'll talk about that. I think, I don't want to be one of these guys talking draft stuff already because we still got 3 games left after this, right? Yeah, 3 games left, and we got the Patriots and Bills coming up. So, anyway, let me give you my prediction. Like I said, part of me feels like the Jets can win this game. I do feel it's going to be a close game, and in close games, I'm ultimately always going to feel like the Jets can pull out a victory. They're a gritty enough team that could do that. They've proven that. But I do feel like this is going to be a game where the Saints, they're playing at home. They're playing a little bit better. This kid Tyler Schluck, he's been playing a little better over his last 2 or 3 games. Last week he had a decent game against the Panthers. Actually, his 2 best games of the season were against the Panthers. Last week he put up 272 yards, touchdown. He had a 110 passer rate for the game. So he can do it, and the Jets defense can allow him to look good out there. But if they follow these 3 areas that I said, it should be a tight game. But I'm ultimately calling for a Jets loss. I'm saying the Jets lose I'm going to say 21-13. Jets lose. So there you have it. Share your comments, your thoughts. Please, if you haven't, subscribe, like the video. Trying to build some momentum moving into the end of the season. You know, I know it's tough for Jet fans right now because, you know, it's tough to watch videos on YouTube or watch any Jets content stuff because the team is playing so bad and it's been like such a consistent thing. And you see guys like lifelong legendary Jet fans like Jetman, you know, he pretty much said he's retired. He's not doing this shit no more. It's hard to be consistent and to show love to Jet content creators and just follow Jet stuff because it's like sometimes you feel like, listen, am I wasting my fucking time? Until they can prove you that they can do something productive and bring some type of positivity into your life, it's tough to go out there. But if you are following and listening and watching, I appreciate the love and support. And if you haven't checked me out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please check that out. You know, for me, myself, when I'm driving to work or if I've ever doing any type of drives, I always got a podcast on. It's a lot easier to listen to. Yeah, but anyway, appreciate all the love and support. And as always, go Jets.